Hey guys. Okay, so I tried to film this video the other day and it was way too dark in my room because it was kind of later at night, so I'm doing it today, being smart about it. The first thing I wanted to tell you guys is, kind of as an update, this past week, started my first full-time job, ever, and I'm very excited about it, but it is, a lot of work. It's very tiring. It's an 8 to 5, Monday to Friday kind of gig. So yeah, I just wanted to tell you guys that unfortunately because of this, I won't be around as much. I'm gonna try to still film maybe like a video a week. And what I'm probably gonna do is do like I normally do, where I record a couple of videos at a time and put them up, but they will now be on the weekends. Like, I'm not gonna have any videos during the week now, just because by the time I get home, it's almost dark, and sometimes it is already dark, and it's very hard to film videos that way. So I'll be filming on, like, Saturdays and Sundays, probably. And also, because of this job, very unfortunately, I won't be reading nearly as much. And I mean, I know the past couple months I haven't been reading that much anyway, just because I've kind of been in a funk, which is really weird because I purposefully said at the beginning of this month that I wanted to read a lot in the 3 weeks before I got this job, before I didn't have any time left, which, yeah, that didn't work out so well. I think I will end up having finished like 2 books this month. Which is really sad, but I just, unfortunately, recently, I just haven't had that book that, like, grabs you and you just want to read it, you want to keep reading it no matter what you're doing, you want to pick it back up. I did have that, with Fangirl, which was great, Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, which I'll talk about in my wrap-up, but, yeah, the other book that I'm trying to finish, it's actually due back Monday, and today's Saturday, so I'll probably be reading it today and tomorrow, is Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. But the thing is that I'm enjoying it, but it hasn't grabbed me really yet, and it could be that it just needs another 20 pages and then I'll be hooked, but I don't know. I just haven't gotten sucked in. Maybe it's because I was reading Throne of Glass and I love Throne of Glass so much, and Shadow and Bone kind of seems, not like the same thing, but it seems quite similar in feel. But, I mean, it took me a while to read Throne of Glass, so maybe it'll just take me a while to get into Shadow and Bone. But anyway, okay, it's almost 4 minutes into this, so I just wanted to, like, give you guys that update really quickly, even though I went on a ramble. Sorry about that. But yeah, so basically the gist of that is that I will be filming on the weekends and putting up videos, and I won't really be reading as much because I only basically have half an hour to read on my lunch break, because my lunch break is an hour, and then when I get home, I'm gonna start like going to the gym right after work, and then I have shows every night of the week except for Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. So those nights I will definitely be reading, but other than that, you know, because I don't have that much time, I'm probably not going to be reading as much as I would like. But I am going to try to use my free time for reading, unless I'm, like, getting together with a friend or something. But anyway, okay, that's the real end of the update. The rest of this video, and the main point of it, is I wanted to do a tag for you guys. And I was really excited about this. I saw this on Marlon Elena's channel. It was the Opposite Books tag, and I just thought it sounded really cute. Here, let me get the right question page. And unfortunately, I don't know who started it. I know that he is a Portuguese, booktuber. I think he's a Portuguese booktuber. I think that's what she said. But I don't follow his channel, so yeah, sorry. If you want to know who created it and everything, I will link Marlon Elena's channel down below, and y'all can go watch her video and see what she says about it. But basically the point of that is that this is not mine. I did not create this tag. But anyway, first question is, what is the first book in your collection? First book in my collection I actually couldn't find when I was looking through all of these books to find the right ones, and that is The Dream Factory by someone whose name I forget. But yeah, I've had it since I was a baby. I read it all the time when I was little. I love it. I'm going to keep it for as long as possible and give it to my children when they're born. So yeah. And the book that I most recently bought is Beautiful Redemption by Kami Garcia and Margaret Stohl. This is the fourth book and last in the Castor Chronicles series, and I was purposefully waiting for the paperback. So now I have 3 out of the 4 books in paperback. Beautiful Chaos I had to get in hardcover because it was in a used bookshop and it was a really, really good deal. So even though I'm not a huge fan of having hardcovers of really big books like that, it's okay. So yeah, and you will also see this in a haul, which I'm doing later because the other book that I ordered has not come yet. So that will hopefully be Tuesday, because that's when it's supposed to come out. Next is a cheap book and a very expensive book. My cheap book is High Fidelity by Nick Hornby. This is the book that I'm most proud of in my collection at the moment, not only because I did get it for 99 cents at Salvation Army, but because it is the UK edition and it's gorgeous, and I'm so happy that I found it because I do not like the American cover of this book. I just don't. I think it's ugly, and it's not in a lovely little mass market version, and yeah. So I'm very excited to read this, and I believe I told you guys this in my book haul, but the reason I got this is because of Leslie from Words of a Reader's very high recommendation of basically anything that Hornby writes, so yeah. Okay, next we have the expensive one, and that is the landmark Herodotus, his histories, or the histories by Herodotus. And I love this edition because it's got footnotes and pictures and little just maps and side notes, and I love it so much. I had to keep it after I got it for history class, and it is, I want to say this runs between, I got it for between $22 and $25. I'm not sure exactly how much. But I also have the landmark Thucydides in this edition, which I also love. Okay. Next we have a book with a male protagonist and a female protagonist. The male protagonist book that I chose is Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss, because I'm reading this next month and I'm so freaking excited. You guys, I can't tell you how excited I am for this book. I'm so excited for it that I already put Wise Man's Fear on my Christmas list, because I know that I will just freak out with love over this book. Just, yes, I'm so excited. And next, for the female protagonist, I picked Iron Queen, and Megan is the main girl in this, and this is the third one in the series, in the Iron Fae series, and I haven't yet read it, and I purposefully picked 2 books that I hadn't yet read because they're 2 books that I'm just really excited for, so. Next we have a book that you read very quickly, and a book that took you a while. The book that I read very quickly is City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. I read that book in 24 hours, and it's like, I'm pretty sure it's either over 500 pages or like just under, but it's a really, really big book. So yeah, I was very proud of that, and I just got sucked into that world, and I love it. And I can't show it to you because I'm lending it to a friend. And the book that took me a while, and is still taking me a while because I'm not finished, is New Moon with the Old by Dodie Smith. It was between this and I Capture the Castle, and the reason I chose this is because I was loving every bit of it. But then in the middle, I suddenly felt the urge to read something actiony, so I put the bookmark in it and haven't picked it up since. But I am very excited to finish this, and the reason I did not choose I Capture the Castle is because I am not looking forward to finishing that book, because since I've seen the film, I know what happens, and you guys know that I've complained about this every time I've talked about I Capture the Castle, but I did not like the ending of the film, and since I know the ending of the book is the same because I looked it up on the internet, I am just not looking forward to that last 120 pages because it was so awkward to watch in the film. I was just like, So, yeah. I need to finish it because otherwise I'm gonna be mad at myself, but yeah. And the thing is that I really enjoyed the writing in I Capture the Castle, because Dodie Smith's writing in general is just very beautiful, but yeah. So I'm excited to finish this, eventually. Next is, let me see, Pretty Cover and Ugly Cover. Pretty Covers were a tie between The Winter Sea and Shadowy Horses, both by Susanna Kersley, and I am not gonna lie, I bought these books because of their covers. Like, I mean, when I was looking at them online, I definitely read the synopses, but before that I saw them on someone's book channel, and I thought the covers were so gorgeous that I was like, I need to own these now. But yeah, there's the first, and see, it goes like that, and then goes around, and then here's Shadowy Horses, and it's just so beautiful, the colors, and I love it, and I'm very excited to read these. These are on next year's reading list. And the ugly one, Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. This is the Barnes & Noble edition. At one point, I was seriously considering giving this away and buying the Splinter edition, and I realized that I'm so hesitant about reading this book that I really should read the ugly edition first, and then if I like it, then buy the pretty edition, but I really don't want to give this away and then buy the pretty edition and then end up hating it, because this story is really sad, and I'm worried. But yeah, the colors are dark. I mean, the only pretty thing about this whole thing is the girl's dress, but otherwise, like, the colors are boring, and it just looks sad, and like, the color on the spine is ugly. I just don't like it. And the thing is, I have Tale of Two Cities and Persuasion both in this same edition, and I love those. The colors in Tale of Two Cities, like, the main color is like a tealy blue, and it's gorgeous. This is just blech. Okay. Enough of the rant, sorry. Okay. Next question is, pick a national book and an international book. And for my national book, like one that's not, and what I took this to mean is like one that's not really well known outside of your country. And I picked Here Lies Virginia by Ivor Noel Hume, and it's because it is in an archaeological history book about my state. And I figured people probably, unless you're an archaeologist, you probably don't know much about this book outside of America. Maybe even outside of Virginia. I don't know. And international, I picked The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini. I struggle with his name, but anyway, that's how I think you say it, is Khaled Hosseini. But yes, I've seen this on several booktubers' channels, and not all of them, like, several are American, some are, I think I've seen it on a couple Australian channels, definitely some British ones, because I know what their cover looks like, and, I think I've seen it on Starian 72's channel, and I'm pretty sure she's, well, is she American or Canadian? No. Wait. Yeah, maybe she is American, I think. I don't know. but I have seen it on some Canadian channels as well. So I just figure this is quite an international book. And it's got such high acclaim. I'm so excited to read this. I actually stole this from my mom. Yeah, oops. But she didn't care. She was like, oh, you can read it. Next is a thin book. Excuse me, a thin book and a thick book. Thin book is Tales of Beetle Bard by J.K. Rowling. And yes, this is the UK edition. I got it in Scotland when I was studying abroad because I think it's so much prettier than the American edition. But yes, this book comes in at 107 pages, or 109 if you include the little Dear Reader letter in the back. And it includes pictures too, so, yep. And then The Beast. And I was planning on not showing you guys this for a while, because I have a little project to do with it, which I think I announced earlier, but, War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. This is the Pever and Volkonsky, translation, which everybody says that they're the best translators for Russian literature. I have their edition of Anna Karenina. This I'm borrowing off of a friend. And their edition of Dr. Zhivago is on my Christmas list. But yes, this book, this beast, is 1,260... well, these are the footnotes. Okay, well, if you include the footnotes, it's like 1,270 pages. So yeah. Beast. And I'll explain what I mean by this is a project, in a different video later. You'll see. Anyway, next is a fiction book and a non-fiction book. And for the fiction book, I did the same thing that Marlon did, where I just kind of, picked one at random because I have so many. And the one I picked was kind of fitting, actually, because it was Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins, and, sorry, I always forget her name, but the reason why this was kind of fitting, and I'm sorry if there's a reflection of my book in my camera, and it's kind of weird, but anyway, the reason why it was so fitting is because I was actually wearing the Hunger Games t-shirt that I own when I was randomly picking this, and I promise my eyes were closed, and I just ran my hand along my shelf and picked it. And also because the film is coming out next month, which I'm very excited for. And my non-fiction book, which is probably one of my most anticipated reads for next year, is Time Was Soft There by Jeremy Mercer. Time Was Soft There, a memoir, a Paris sojourn at Shakespeare & Co. And Shakespeare & Co. has been housing struggling writers for years. Like, I think Ernest Hemingway may have stayed there for a time. I don't 100% remember, but this guy did the same thing. And I just thought that it was such a cute, such a lovely thing, and I want to read it because I love books about bookstores and about someone living in a bookstore. Come on. And one of the most famous bookstores in the world. Come on. Yes, I'm so excited about this. Okay. And two romantic book and action book, and I don't have either of these. The two romantic book is is City of Fallen Angels. Oh, wait, I do have that, but I just don't know where it is at the moment. Sorry, but anyway. City of Fallen Angels by Cassandra Clare is the fourth book in the Mortal Instruments series, and I enjoyed it, but I did not enjoy it nearly as much as the first three books, because, and what I mean by too romantic for this particular book is that they focused too much on the relationship between Clary and Jace, and, this is getting ready to be a spoiler, so, stop here if you don't want to be spoiled. And that's why I was just like, why? Why are you guys focusing on this at all? Like, I thought they focused way too much on that rather than what was actually, like, the bigger picture of what was going on. Like, the fact that they were all in danger and stuff, and it just, yeah. So, that's what I took out of it, was, as far as too romantic, just meaning that they focused too much on that particular romantic relationship when it was, like, awkward moments throughout the entire thing. And action book I don't have because I returned it to the library, and that is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. And is it Maas or Moss? I think I say Moss because it's 2 A's, but that might not be how you say it. But anyway, and I know that that one had some romance in it as well, but to me it was very, very action-packed. Like, not only when Selena, I want to say her name's Selena or Kalina, I think it's Selena, when she was competing, but also when, like, the mystery that surrounded the castle, like, I don't know, to me, those parts were action-packed as well, because it was kind of a suspense, like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen next kind of thing. So, yeah, I love that book. It was great. And then, I think this is the last question. Yes, a book that made you happy and a book that made you sad. And I'm sure, like, no one's gonna be surprised by either of these. The book that just makes me happy, like, so happy, is Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. This book, even though it has some really sad moments in it, just at the end of it, I felt so, like, contented and just happy. And I think after both this and Lola and the Boy Next Door, I was, like, walking around my house just smiling because the books made me feel so good. Like, I love books like that, and this definitely was it. Like, just, love it. And then, book that makes me sad. This book actually has all the feels in it, but very specifically, it is the only book that I remember, where, well, no, there was one other book that made me feel this way, but it's one of the few books that I remember where tears were actually streaming down my face. Like, usually I'll get a little, like, teared up for sad parts of books, but this, like, I cried at least 10 times in this book, and it is P.S. I Love You by Cecilia Ahern. This is one of my favorite books of all time, and it is my favorite book by her, and she is my favorite author. So, yes, it's definitely in my top 5 favorite books ever, and it just, I did cry 10 times, whether it was happy tears or sad tears. Usually it was sad tears, because it was so, this book will rip your heart out and put it back together again. That's what I have to say about it. It is just, oh, I love it so much. I love it. I need to reread it because it's awesome. And this movie, I mean, not movie, it might as well be a short film. This video is 25 minutes long, and I need to go because I don't even know if this is going to upload properly. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry this is really long, but it was an update and a tag, so I figured you guys get 2 in 1. And, if you have any comments about any of the books I talked about, let me know. And, unfortunately, I don't have the patience to put all of the questions down below, but just, if you miss one, or if you need, like, specification, let me know. Or actually, you know, since I'm posting Marlon Elena's video, she actually wrote down all the questions on her thing. So, yeah, I'm gonna be lazy and just pass you guys over to her. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Thanks, guys. Bye.